Unpacking the Jevons Paradox, how increased efficiency could lead to a 30% surge in energy consumption by 2030. Introduction. The Jevons Paradox, named after the English economist William Stanley Jevons, who first articulated it in 1865, presents a counterintuitive relationship between resource efficiency and consumption. Jevons observed that improvements in the efficiency of coal-burning technologies led to increased overall coal consumption rather than a decrease. This paradox has significant implications for contemporary energy consumption patterns, particularly as society continues to pursue efficiency in various sectors including energy, transportation, and technology. As we approach 2030, projections suggest that these efficiency improvements could contribute to a staggering 30% surge in energy consumption. Understanding the Jevons Paradox. At its core, the Jevons Paradox suggests that as technological advancements make resource use more efficient, the cost of utilizing that resource decreases. This reduction in cost can stimulate greater demand, ultimately leading to an increase in total consumption. The phenomenon is closely tied to what is known as the rebound effect, which can be categorized into several types. 1. Superconservation, more resources are saved than anticipated. 2. Zero rebound, resource savings align with expectations. 3. Partial rebound, fewer resources are saved than expected. 4. Full rebound, no net savings occur. 5. Backfire, consumption exceeds initial levels. Economists like Dr. Daniel Kazum and Dr. Harry Saunders have explored this effect, further coining the Kazum-Brooks postulate, which argues that energy efficiency improvements will lead to increased overall energy consumption due to lower costs and enhanced economic activity. Mechanisms behind the paradox. Several mechanisms explain the rebound effect and the Jevons paradox. Direct effects: when a resource becomes cheaper due to improved efficiency, consumers tend to use more of it. For instance, enhanced fuel efficiency in vehicles reduces the cost per mile, which can lead to longer distances driven. Indirect effects: increased savings from efficiency may lead consumers to spend their money elsewhere, potentially on goods and services that require energy to produce or deliver, thereby increasing overall energy demand. Economy-wide effects: as efficiency improvements boost economic growth, the overall demand for energy can rise. The more efficient use of energy can lead to economic expansion, which in turn drives up consumption. Real-world examples of the Jevons paradox. 1. Transportation: enhanced vehicle fuel efficiency often results in increased travel. A study by Nissan indicated that electric vehicle users tend to drive more than traditional petrol or diesel drivers, demonstrating the rebound effect in practice. As driving becomes cheaper, the tendency is to drive longer distances, ultimately increasing fuel consumption. 2. Energy efficiency in appliances: the adoption of energy-efficient appliances such as LED light bulbs has not significantly reduced overall energy consumption. Instead, the lower operational costs have encouraged consumers to install more lighting fixtures or use them for longer periods, leading to a net increase in energy use. 3. Digital technology: the proliferation of smart devices and data centers has resulted in increased energy demands despite improvements in individual device efficiency. As devices become more efficient, their use expands, leading to higher overall consumption. Implications for policy and sustainability. The implications of the Jevons paradox are profound for environmental policy and sustainability efforts. It suggests that merely improving efficiency is insufficient for achieving meaningful reductions in resource consumption. Policymakers are urged to implement complementary strategies that directly address consumption patterns, such as carbon pricing. Implementing taxes on carbon emissions can help to internalize the environmental costs of energy use, thereby discouraging excessive consumption. Regulatory frameworks: establishing regulations that increase the cost of resource use can prevent the rebound effect from undermining efficiency gains. Awareness and education: raising awareness about the Jevons Paradox can empower consumers and organizations to make informed decisions promoting more conscious consumption habits. Systemic changes, transitioning to circular economies and promoting sustainable consumption models can help mitigate the rebound effect. Contrasting views on the rebound effect. While there is consensus on the existence of the Jevons Paradox, interpretations of its magnitude vary. Some studies argue that the rebound effect is significant, potentially leading to increased overall consumption, while others suggest it may be minimal, particularly in mature markets. For example, in developed countries, the rebound effect might be less pronounced due to already high levels of consumption. Conclusion. As we approach the year 2030, the Jevons Paradox presents a critical challenge for sustainability efforts. Increased efficiency in energy use, while beneficial in many respects, may inadvertently lead to a 30% surge in energy consumption if not carefully managed. Understanding the complexities of the relationship between efficiency and consumption is crucial for developing effective sustainability strategies. Policymakers must consider both the benefits of efficiency gains and the potential for increased consumption to create a balanced approach to resource management and environmental protection. Only through comprehensive strategies that combine efficiency improvements with measures to control consumption can we hope to address the challenges posed by resource depletion and climate change effectively. The Jevons Paradox presents a counterintuitive phenomenon in resource consumption that runs contrary to the widely held belief that increased efficiency leads to reduced consumption. Instead, it suggests that improvements in efficiency can actually lead to greater overall consumption of resources, such as energy. This paradox was first articulated by William Stanley Jevons in the 19th century, and it has significant implications for energy policy, environmental sustainability, and economic growth. Key counterintuitive aspects of the Jevons Paradox. 1. Increased efficiency equals lower costs equals increased demand. The most fundamental counterintuitive aspect of the Jevons Paradox is the relationship between efficiency and demand. While one might expect that making a resource more efficient, such as improving fuel efficiency in cars, would reduce total consumption, the opposite can occur. As efficiency improves, the cost of using that resource typically decreases, making it more attractive for consumers and industries to use more of it. This can lead to a situation where overall demand increases, even surpassing the initial savings from efficiency improvements. 2. Economic activity and consumption growth. The Jevons Paradox implies that efficiency gains can stimulate economic activity, which in turn increases overall consumption of resources. For example, when fuel becomes cheaper due to increased vehicle efficiency, consumers may drive more, thereby increasing fuel consumption overall. This leads to a situation where efficiency improvements not only fail to reduce resource consumption but may actually accelerate it, a notion that challenges the intuitive belief that conserving resources through efficiency will always yield positive outcomes for sustainability. 3. Diverse rebound effects. The rebound effect, which describes the tendency for the savings from improved efficiency to be offset by increased consumption, is not uniform. It can manifest in various forms, including full rebound, where the increase in consumption completely negates the benefits of efficiency improvements. Backfire, where consumption increases beyond initial levels, leading to greater total resource use. Superconservation and zero rebound. These scenarios, while possible, are less common and often do not reflect the broader trends observed in resource consumption following efficiency improvements. For sector-specific impacts, the paradox often exhibits different magnitudes of rebound effects across various sectors. For instance, improvements in energy efficiency and transportation may result in a more pronounced rebound effect compared to improvements in stationary energy consumption such as heating. This suggests that the context in which efficiency gains occur plays a critical role in determining their overall impact on consumption. 5. Global versus local effects. The Jevons Paradox also highlights a disparity between local and global effects of efficiency improvements. While an individual household may reduce its energy consumption due to the adoption of energy-efficient appliances, the aggregate effect on a national or global scale may still be an increase in consumption as more households adopt similar technologies. This is especially true in developing economies, where increased efficiency may open up new markets and uses for energy. 6. As misinterpretation of efficiency gains, policymakers may assume that simply improving efficiency will lead to reduced consumption without considering potential increases in demand. This can result in misguided policies that fail to account for the complexities of consumer behavior and economic dynamics. As a result, policies aimed solely at improving efficiency may not achieve the intended environmental benefits. 7. Indirect economic effects. Efficiency improvements can lead to indirect economic benefits where consumers save money on energy costs and redirect their spending to other goods and services. This can contribute to greater overall economic activity, further driving resource consumption. For example, reduced energy bills may allow individuals to spend more on discretionary items, thereby increasing demand for various products that also require energy for production and transportation. 8. Historical precedents. The historical context of the Jevons Paradox provides further evidence of its counterintuitive nature. For instance, after the introduction of more efficient steam engines during the Industrial Revolution, coal consumption soared rather than diminished. This historical example serves to illustrate that the dynamics of resource consumption are not straightforward and often defy intuitive expectations. Conclusion. The Jevons paradox signifies that the relationship between efficiency and resource consumption is complex and multifaceted. As we strive for greater efficiency in energy use in other sectors, it is crucial to recognize that these improvements could inadvertently lead to higher overall consumption. Policymakers need to adopt comprehensive strategies that not only focus on efficiency gains but also integrate measures to manage consumption directly. By understanding the nuances of the Jevons paradox, we can develop more effective policies for sustainability and resource management that align with the realities of economic behavior and consumer dynamics. The Jevons paradox is a phenomenon that many people might overlook in discussions about energy efficiency and consumption. While the general assumption is that increasing efficiency leads to reduced resource consumption, the paradox reveals a counterintuitive reality. Improvements in efficiency can lead to increased overall consumption of that resource. This has significant implications for energy policy, sustainability, and environmental management. Key mechanisms of the Jevons paradox. 1. Rebound effect. The rebound effect is central to understanding the Jevons paradox. When a resource becomes more efficient, it typically lowers the cost of its use. This reduction can lead to increased consumption in several ways. Direct rebound. Users may consume more of the resource because it is cheaper to do so, e.g., driving more miles because gasoline is less expensive due to more fuel-efficient cars. Indirect effects. Savings from efficiency improvements might be redirected toward other expenditures which could also increase overall consumption, e.g., using savings from lower energy bills to purchase more goods. Economy-wide effects. Increased efficiency can stimulate economic growth, which in turn raises overall demand for energy and other resources. 2. Superconservation versus backfire. The rebound effect can manifest in various ways, ranging from superconservation, where efficiency leads to more savings than expected, to backfire, where consumption increases beyond initial levels. Understanding where a specific scenario falls within this spectrum is crucial for policymakers. Real-world implications. The paradox has been observed in numerous sectors. Transportation. Enhanced fuel efficiency in vehicles has led to increased vehicle miles traveled. Studies have shown that electric vehicle (EV) drivers often travel further than traditional petrol or diesel users. Illustrating the rebound effect in action. Energy efficiency in buildings. The adoption of energy-efficient appliances such as LED bulbs may not lead to significant reductions in overall energy consumption. Instead, lower costs have encouraged increased usage, such as more decorative or outdoor lighting. Digital technology. As devices and data centers become more efficient, total energy demand can still surge due to their proliferation and increased usage. Policy implications. The Jevons Paradox raises critical questions about the effectiveness of efficiency improvements as standalone solutions for reducing energy consumption and mitigating climate change. It suggests that simply improving efficiency without concurrently addressing consumption patterns may be insufficient or even counterproductive. 1. Comprehensive strategies. Policymakers should not rely solely on efficiency improvements. Instead, they should adopt a multifaceted approach that combines efficiency gains with regulatory measures that limit consumption. For example, carbon pricing, emissions trading systems, or implementing higher energy costs can help mitigate rebound effects. 2. Education and awareness. Raising awareness about the Jevons Paradox is essential. Informing consumers and businesses about the potential for increased consumption following efficiency improvements can lead to more sustainable consumption practices. 3. Systemic changes. Addressing the root causes of consumption patterns is vital. Promoting circular economies, collaborative consumption models, and the development of sustainable technologies can help break the cycle of increased consumption stemming from efficiency gains. Differences in perspectives. The magnitude of the rebound effect remains a topic of debate among researchers. Some studies suggest that the rebound effect is significant, potentially leading to increased overall consumption, while others argue that the effect may be minimal in mature markets. This divergence in perspectives highlights the complexity of the relationship between efficiency and consumption and suggests that context matters. Conclusion. The Jevons Paradox serves as a reminder that the relationship between energy efficiency and consumption is intricate and multifaceted. As we approach the projected 30% surge in energy consumption by 2030, understanding and addressing the paradox will be crucial for developing effective sustainability strategies. Policymakers need to consider the potential rebound effects of efficiency improvements and implement comprehensive strategies that address both efficiency gains and consumption patterns. Only through such an approach can we hope to effectively mitigate the challenges posed by climate change and resource depletion. 1. Understanding the Jevons Paradox and rebound effect. The Jevons Paradox highlights a fundamental economic phenomenon where increased efficiency in resource usage can lead to greater overall consumption of that resource. This occurs because improvements in efficiency tend to reduce the effective cost of using that resource, prompting consumers and industries to use it more. The rebound effect can vary from super conservation, more savings than expected, to backfire, consumption exceeding initial levels. This understanding is crucial for forming effective energy policies, as it challenges the assumption that efficiency gains will automatically lead to reduced consumption. 2. Real-world implications across sectors. The paradox manifests in various sectors, notably transportation, energy efficiency, and digital technology. For instance, improvements in vehicle fuel efficiency often result in increased driving distances, while energy-efficient appliances may not significantly reduce overall energy use because lower costs encourage more extensive usage. These examples underscore the paradox's relevance in assessing the effectiveness of sustainability initiatives and highlight that merely focusing on efficiency improvements may not yield the desired environmental benefits. 3. Policy considerations and holistic approaches. The Jevons Paradox suggests that policies aimed solely at increasing efficiency may be inadequate for achieving sustainability goals. Policymakers need to implement complementary measures such as carbon pricing and regulations that raise the cost of resource usage to mitigate the rebound effect. By creating a comprehensive approach that addresses both the demand for resources and the incentives created by efficiency improvements, governments can better navigate the complexities of resource management and environmental protection. 4. Debate on magnitude and context of rebound effects. There is significant debate in the academic community regarding the magnitude of the rebound effect and its implications for energy consumption. Some researchers argue that the rebound effect can be substantial, particularly in developing countries where energy efficiency gains can lead to significant increases in consumption due to higher accessibility and economic growth. Others contend that in mature markets, the rebound effect may be smaller and that efficiency improvements can still lead to overall reductions in resource use. This ongoing debate emphasizes the need for context-specific analyses to understand how different factors influence the dynamics of efficiency and consumption. 1. The Industrial Revolution and coal consumption. The original observation of the Jevons Paradox was made by William Stanley Jevons during the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century. Jevons noted that improvements in steam engine efficiency led to an increase in coal consumption. As steam engines became more efficient, their use expanded across various industries, resulting in a net increase in total coal consumption, contrary to the expectation that greater efficiency would lead to reduced resource use. 2. The rise of automobiles and fuel efficiency. The introduction of fuel-efficient vehicles has historically led to an increase in miles driven, illustrating the rebound effect. As vehicles became more fuel efficient, the cost per mile decreased, encouraging people to drive more. For instance, studies have shown that when cars became more efficient, families often took longer trips or opted for additional driving, leading to an overall increase in fuel consumption despite the advancements in vehicle technology. 3. Refrigerators and energy consumption. The evolution of refrigerator technology serves as another example of the Jevons Paradox. As refrigerators became more energy efficient, consumers tended to purchase larger models or additional units for their homes. This increased demand for refrigeration capacity translated into higher overall energy consumption as people utilized more energy efficient appliances without reducing their total usage, demonstrating how efficiency gains can lead to increased consumption rather than conservation. Future outlook: predictions on the Jevons Paradox and energy consumption by 2030. As we move towards 2030, the implications of the Jevons Paradox, where increased efficiency can paradoxically lead to greater consumption, are likely to become increasingly pronounced. This phenomenon suggests that improvements in energy efficiency may not lead to the reductions in energy consumption that policymakers anticipate. Instead, we may witness a surge in energy demand, potentially by as much as 30%. Here are several key predictions for the future, examining the mechanisms, potential outcomes, and necessary policy responses. 1. Increased energy demand due to efficiency gains. As industries and consumers adopt more energy efficient technologies, the cost of energy usage is likely to decrease. This will encourage higher consumption rates across several sectors. For instance, advancements in electric vehicle (EV) technology may lead to greater distances driven as consumers find themselves spending less per mile. Similarly, as smart home devices become more efficient, households may use them more frequently, amplifying overall energy consumption. 2. Economic growth and the rebound effect. The rebound effect, which encompasses direct, indirect, and economy-wide responses to efficiency improvements, will play a significant role in this increase. Direct rebounds occur when consumers use more of a resource because it is cheaper. Indirect effects arise when savings from reduced energy costs are spent elsewhere, promoting broader economic activity. As economies recover from disruptions like the COVID-19 pandemic, a resurgence in consumer spending could further heighten demand for energy. 3. Sector-specific impacts. Different sectors will experience varying levels of rebound effects. The transportation sector may see substantial increases in energy consumption as fuel efficiency improvements lead to more travel. In contrast, the residential sector may demonstrate a mixed response, where efficiency gains in appliances result in higher overall electricity consumption as households utilize more devices simultaneously. Digital technology, including cloud computing and data centers, will likely also contribute to rising energy consumption despite efficiency gains. 4. Urbanization and infrastructure development. With continued urbanization, cities are expected to expand, increasing energy consumption. While energy-efficient infrastructure could mitigate some impacts, the overall growth in population and associated services will likely lead to higher energy needs. As urban areas develop, energy-efficient buildings may encourage more extensive use of energy as the lower costs enable more extensive heating, cooling, and lighting. 5. Challenges to sustainability goals. The anticipated rise in energy consumption poses significant challenges to climate and sustainability goals. If efficiency gains are not coupled with regulatory measures that limit overall consumption, the desired reductions in greenhouse gas emissions may not materialize. The energy sector's transition to renewables could also be undermined if increased consumption offsets gains made in decarbonization. 6. Policy recommendations and interventions. To counteract the potential backfire of increased consumption due to efficiency gains, policymakers must implement complementary strategies. Carbon pricing, introducing or increasing carbon taxes can help maintain the cost of energy use, counteracting the rebound effect by incentivizing reduced consumption. Regulatory frameworks, implementing stricter efficiency standards combined with consumption limits can help manage overall resource use. Such frameworks would ensure that efficiency improvements lead to net reductions in energy consumption. Public awareness and behavioral change, educating consumers about the implications of efficiency gains and promoting responsible consumption behaviors can help mitigate the rebound effect. Awareness campaigns can encourage individuals to adopt more sustainable practices even when using energy-efficient technologies. Investment in renewables, expanding the share of renewable energy in the energy mix can help decouple consumption increases from carbon emissions, providing a pathway to sustainable growth even as overall energy use rises. 7. Technological innovations. Future technological advancements may play a dual role. On one hand, they can lead to greater efficiency and lower costs. On the other, they can facilitate increased consumption. For example, as artificial intelligence and automation enhance productivity, they might drive higher overall energy use. It will be crucial for innovators and policymakers to consider these dynamics when developing new technologies and implementing energy policies. Conclusion. In summary, as we approach 2030, the Jevons Paradox will likely manifest in significant increases in energy consumption despite ongoing efforts to improve efficiency. Understanding and addressing the complexities of this paradox will be essential for developing effective energy policies that align with sustainability goals. By implementing comprehensive strategies that combine efficiency improvements with measures to curb consumption, we can hope to navigate the challenges posed by increased energy use in a rapidly changing world. Only through a multifaceted approach can we mitigate the potential negative impacts of the Jevons Paradox and work towards a more sustainable future.